What's up, everybody? Good evening. Happy Friday. Thank you for coming to hang out with us tonight. We got a special guest in the house, Smoke Break, guy who we're just getting a little familiar with. Talked to you on Discord. Been trying to set up, get a blitz game in, but just schedules haven't really worked out just yet. But people were starting to pour in. Zod Ryder, what's up? Our good buddy from Nostalgia Power.
What's up, Jason?
Stock Jock, Glairzilla.
Stock Jock, Disney World, though, right? Oh, I thought you said
Jason, what's up, buddy?
Disney World.
Yeah,
I wish I could have been there, man.
Stock Jock. I'm jealous. Standing right next to the Millennium Falcon like that. The life size, 1-to-1 scale. No 3/4 scale.
I will be at Disneyland. What's the date today? In 2 weeks.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
What's up, Andy?
For sure. What's up, Andy? How you doing?
Hey, Andy.
So, Smoke, you were kind of I don't want to say last minute addition, but to the show. I'm glad you hit me up though, because it's always fun to have more people on. So, learning a little bit more about you. You are from the South, so I kind of figured you may be a New Orleans Saints fan. So,
yes, sir.
I'm guessing that. So, what are you thinking about what New Orleans has been doing? We'll start with that. Me and Phil, we ranted about our teams last week and where they stand.
So we are firstly in cap hell, and have been for quite some time. That's what happens when you bet the farm on 2017 and 2018 Drew Brees, make it to essentially the Minneapolis Miracle game, make it to the no call game, and continue pushing forward past Breeze's prime, essentially. Stuck with a owner who wants nothing to do with our franchise and has openly said that after her husband passed away, Gail Benson, who has given our GM minority stakeholding in our team. So he's unfireable, and he's also in control over her trust when she passes away, which means we're left with our lame duck coach, Dennis Allen, who has been proceedingly mediocre for the past 3 seasons, and an awful head coach in back then Oakland as well. And one of the most mediocre lame duck quarterbacks in the league. Not only that, we have Michael Thomas yapping away on Twitter, airing dirty laundry about how bad the Saints are coached, how bad the front office is ran, how Alvin Kamara is disrespected. We have Chris Olave getting arrested. We have Michael Thomas getting arrested. And we have one of the best offenses in the league in terms of total offense, but the worst in terms of red zone efficiency. So as a Saints fan, outside of hiring Kubiak as our new OC, I am doing fairly poorly. And we're in the worst division in the NFL. So
other than that, things are looking up for the Saints. Everything's what you're saying. Right.
Hell, we restructured Derek Carr for 3 more years.
What's the cap hit? What's the cap hit on that one?
So he's
got to be making $30 million probably.
So his contract's about $125 million, and he was guaranteed $75. Now that we're pushing it to 2025, if we want to get out of his contract next year, it's only going to cost us about $30 million. So,
I mean, is it worth it? But what do you? Stock Jock said you have Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston's a beast. Like the fact that he basically flipped the double bird to Dennis Allen the last game of the season and decided to run that fucking play. Excuse my language. I don't know if this is a cursing show or not, but decided to run that play, so he could have his touchdown. I'm super, super happy. I'm super, super happy. Derek Carr, Kevin, is a enigma. He will put up 350 yard stats. Speaking to a Saints fan who watches every game, 300 yards a game, and then he makes it to the red zone and
just fizzles out every single time. Did it in Oakland, did it in Las Vegas.
Like Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to win kicking field goals. You're not going to get very far just kicking field goals and not getting those touchdowns. And so, yeah, it sounds like quite the dysfunctional bunch. I mean, if Thomas is out there saying, spouting all, like, what do? How do you keep your coach whenever this kind of stuff happens? Like he's clearly lost the locker room. And that's kind of what I wanted to lead into a little bit with the coaching vacancies. The last one was just filled the other day. The Commanders were the last team that got their coaching spot filled. And there's some pretty notable names out there of head coaches that didn't get picked up by anybody. I mean, and the first one is the biggest one of all, the biggest shock to me, the guy who a lot of people talk about as the greatest coach in NFL history, the guy who, Belichick. He only 20-some wins away from Don Shula being one of the winningest coach of all time.
Right. Is he going to get the 20? Is anyone going to hire him?
No, there are no vacancies left. And at this point now, he's in his 70s, probably mid 70s, like him and Pete Carroll, both of those guys, they were on the thumbnail. I was shocked. I mean, is it their choice that they didn't? I know Belichick was interviewing with Atlanta.
I don't mind not seeing Pete Carroll. I'll tell you that.
I don't mind not seeing Bill Belichick either. To be honest with you,
I think the biggest issue is the reason why Belichick didn't get hired in Atlanta was because of Arthur Blank, and the fact that his GM is like really really close to him.
And Belichick
coming
in without complete control.
Over. He'll take over.
And Arthur Blank wants nothing to do with that. He wants to keep the status quo essentially. I mean, is the biggest issue.
I'll say this about Bill Belichick, okay, and this is maybe crazy talk. Maybe he's not as good as a head coach as he's being made out to be. And there's one stat that blew my mind when I learned this. Without Tom Brady as his starting quarterback, Bill Belichick has a losing coaching record in the NFL. Everybody seems to forget he coached in the mid to late 90s with the Browns. They didn't really do too well. And the past 4 years without Brady has been a disaster.
He's good at evaluating talent. I'll give him that, though. He's good.
Who's the team that he was supposed to coach before he went to New England? Who did he agree? Who did he agree to coach before he went to the Patriots?
Was it the Jets?
The Jets.
It was an AFC team.
If you look at any teams right now, there is but they take him back. Who's the coach of the Jets? Like, think about
why
this.
Wouldn't they?
You have Aaron Rodgers right now, right? You're probably going to get Devontae Adams, right? That's the only place he could go.
Yes, this is what I wanted to get to. So Belichick said Brady was washed, and Stock Jock, you should be. Is the statue of Tom Brady finished down there in Tampa? Because that was a slap in the face to Belichick more than anything. Tom Brady said, "I'm going somewhere, and I'm showing that old curmudgeon wrong. The guy who cuts his sleeves off his hoodie. I'm going to win a Super Bowl."
Right.
And I think that pretty much showed you right there that it's the quarterback that makes a coach and not the other way around.
Rare occasions.
There are some outliers, but for the most part, I mean, just look throughout history, like Tom Landry and Chuck Noll and guys like that. They all had Bill Walsh. I mean, they had Montana, Starbuck, Bradshaw. Every single one of the legendary coaches. Belichick. He had Brady. Andy Reid has Mahomes. So I don't know. Is Belichick really that great without having? I mean, he had one chance. He only had to draft one chance to draft a quarterback because he inherited Brady. I mean, I shouldn't say inherited. He got lucky on Brady.
Right.
Nobody knew Brady was going to be that good.
No, I'll agree with that.
What, a 7th round pick? I think he was.
As much as Brady, he had the killer instinct. That's the difference with Tom Brady. It was the Kobe Bryant mentality. Not everybody has that. I mean, like him or not, he had that. He had that mentality. Yeah, sure he did.
Do you really think Robert Saleh is going to get replaced by Bill Belichick though? Like, Saleh's a good head coach. He's just had a bad run with quarterbacks.
The Jets have kind of been a mess. And they thought they were finally turning around. And what was it, Phil? Right. Four plays into the first game of the season.
Yeah,
he ruptures his Achilles.
Yeah, exactly.
Even that though, it's they were stacked before they got Rodgers. I mean, when you're drafting in how many number one picks,
you're high picks, first round every year for
you get a Hall of Fame quarterback. The thing is their offensive line isn't the greatest. I mean, you have to protect them. The guy's as old as I am. It's
not mobile at all anymore.
At all. So
Flacco's story this season, Ryan, was amazing.
Honestly, it was.
The resurgence of Jack.
Joe Flacco almost won me my fantasy football championship because all my quarterbacks got hurt and I needed somebody, and I made it to the finals. And I picked Joe Flacco up the last week and almost this close. But I don't see Flacco coming back next year.
Kevin, it would have to be Bledsoe, because if he was a backup in 2000, Bledsoe's got to be the starter in NFL Blitz. Don't you think so, guys?
Yeah.
I don't think Brady's in there.
No, I don't think
Is he in
so
2000?
either.
He's not in 2000.
Yeah, because I don't think they had. No, Brady didn't come in as a starter until 2001.
Right.
And then they went because Bledsoe got hurt.
Well, but he came in the playoffs in 2000 though, right?
I'm not actually don't know. You might be right. I remember 2001 was like his
99 was the Ravens. Didn't the Ravens and we talked about this last week?
Yeah, it was the Ravens and Giants were 2000.
So 2000, okay.
Yeah.
So 2001, right.
So, I mean, to go back to circle back around, why Pete Carroll? Like, what's up with him? Like, is he going to go back to college, or is he, again, in the same boat as Belichick? Maybe they have like an older style of coaching that doesn't really mesh.
I think
well
he's
with
going to
new
retire.
players.
I think he's going to retire.
I mean, at this point, what did either one of them have to prove other than just keep going?
Well, he wanted to stay on as a consultant after he was going to leave, and then he changed his mind and he wanted to coach one more season, and then the Seahawks essentially said no. They said no at that point. So I think he's done.
Who did Seattle go with as a coach?
Who did they?
I'm not completely up to everything going on.
I can't think of it off the top.
I don't really follow the NFC West that much.
Yeah, hoping Anthony Richardson stays healthy. Yeah,
same.
That's true, Glairzilla. He was one of my 3 quarterbacks that went down this year. Yeah. I drafted him late in my fantasy draft, and thinking the guy has sick potential. I think he's going to be a beast. Him and Michael Pittman for the Colts.
As an LSU fan, seeing Richardson in college with Florida, I saw the raw talent, but I didn't think it was going to translate at all in the NFL draft. And when the Colts reached for him in the first round, I was like, duh. But seeing him this season, I was like, wow, like he
had some decent games when he played. He got hurt too much. That's the thing. These mobile quarterbacks, when all hell breaks loose, the first thing they do is abandon ship and just take off and run. And that seemed to be Richardson's thing. And I mean, he was just getting smacked. He wasn't even being smart about it. He was absorbing some big hits.
He was pulling Josh Allen moves and doing them even more recklessly.
Yeah,
than Allen does, essentially.
I mean, everybody wants to, the mobile quarterback seems to be kind of the wave of the future now.
Well, I think the longevity of quarterback is I think it's a 5-6 year turnaround here. Then you draft another quarterback. I think that's, you look at the history going with teams lately. I don't know if you're going to get those Peyton Manning guys.
Yeah.
There's not too many of them. Just the Tom Brady, the Peyton Manning, just to drop back and fire it. Because
it's hard.
You look at the top guys in the league, Allen, Mahomes, Jackson. I mean, all those guys are all somewhat mobile. And I mean, Jackson especially is extremely mobile.
We've all had Hall of Famer quarterbacks playing for our 3 teams.
Yeah.
Right.
And smoke break. That's why they kept Breeze for so long. I mean, it's hard to give up that because
even with the shoulder injury.
I know. I mean, as much as you're afraid to lose a guy like Rodgers, I mean, you just once they're gone, they're gone.
But then you have outliers like Burrow, man. And I'm an LSU.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, LSU at heart, but Burrow in college could scramble and could run. Mm-hmm. And after the couple of injuries, he's a little bit more stationary now, but still he performs.
Yeah, he's one of the few that can be classified into that just traditional drop back passer. But he still can move, like you said, when he has to.
Look at Stock Jock's comment. I mean, it's absolutely after 4 years. I mean, your salary cap goes crazy. Like if you could think about that.
What's Pat Mahomes making? $40 million. Like how are you supposed to build a team? I mean, they are, but the quarterback is that important though.
That reminds me of Breeze's contract when it got restructured, and he took like a 3-year contract. It was like 150 million, and it just completely destroyed the rest of our roster.
Hope you don't like to throw to anybody, or hope you don't have a defense that can't stop anybody because we don't got no money left.
Exactly.
But yeah, Jordan Love showed promise, and that's why I think the Packers are a team to watch out for. because he's still on that rookie contract. That's how you got to win
1 more year
in the NFL. If you can somehow get it together.
But,
and they were
Mike,
a bad call kick away from beating San Francisco.
You're going to have to pay. They're going to have to do something next year. They're
that's
already going to have to lock him up
right,
because you don't want him.
No, you can't even let him get close to the open market because you're going to lose him.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Is next year their best window because then Love gets that big contract and then it gets harder to bring players in. And then, you start restructuring like what Smoke was saying, and then you get into trouble down the road.
Mm-hmm.
You start trying to restructure deals and breaking this money down and sending it down the line. And then you get into cap trouble.
Yeah. But that's every team goes through it. There's no way around it. You're going to have rebuilding seasons regardless.
Yep.
I
remember the Bears. Yeah, who last won a playoff game in 2010. Now the Lions have won. The Bears have the longest drought in the NFC North.
That's ownership, man.
The Bears. I mean,
how old is she? Like 102, 101. Their owner.
Oh God, is she that old?
Is she even? If she is she?
Well, I don't know how much say she. I mean, the GM. If he's going to make a decision, I don't know if it's on her.
Glare, it's the guy that we got from the Lions who was like the #1 leading rusher last year. I'm forgetting his name. The anime dude. He loves anime and Pokemon cards and all kinds of stuff. He's the guy that.
What's up, Garage Gamer?
Hey, Garage Gamer.
He's the guy that Jameis Winston decided to flip the middle finger to.
So I guess he's not coming back, right? If he's.
Well,
is he under contract?
I think this is his last year of his contract. So I'm assuming that we would get the kid from Fresno State and bump him up to QB2. Jake Hayner that we drafted in the 3rd round. The guy who did the prissy photo shoot where the pretty photo shoot where he was like sticking his face. You should pull up the Jake Hayner photo shoot pictures and show it. If you can, because this guy is he is something. He is I don't know, but he's going to be our QB too. Oh, they're bad. And then he got busted for doing steroids, like three weeks later. What's up, Garage Gamer? How you doing, dude?
Oh God,
you just saw them.
Is this what you're?
Where he's in uniform and he's like blowing kisses. Yeah, that's what I'm referring to. That's our QB3 right now. And Derek Carr's mentoring him. Right now.
He's got to figure. He's like, I got to make money somehow. Like, what are you doing?
Like, this is like some GQ magazine.
Like, how did he even? Like, who even approached him for this?
I don't know. I think he just wanted some Instagram clout or some attention or something like that, and then it all went away. when he got busted for PEDs.
It's like, I play professional football. Yep, I'm a quarterback. Mm-hmm.
He's like 6'2" and like 180 pounds. Why would he take PEDs? What PEDs is he taking? He's like
maybe he is. Maybe he's trying to bulk up.
Maybe.
I don't know. I did not hear about it. I couldn't even have told you who Jake Hayner was 5 minutes ago.
Man. Kevin, I'm banking on the 49ers. I didn't have any investment in the Super Bowl prior to us wanting to hire the QB coach from Kubiak from the 49ers. So now I have a personal investment in it. I kind of want to see him get a ring before he's our OC in a couple of weeks. But yeah, I'm going 49ers.
I don't know. I had to eat my words last week. I did the dumb thing. I bet against Pat Mahomes and.
They always find a way to win in the playoffs.
I know,
that's exactly right.
He's 16. I think it was 16-3 or 14-3. Is his career playoff record? Something ridiculous.
How many Super Bowls has he been to now? 5?
This is his 5th.
Yeah. And the only quarterbacks that have beaten him, Tom Brady beat him twice. Go figure.
Right.
And Burrow was the other one that beat him.
Garage Gamer, how are you feeling about next week? I know he's a big 49ers fan.
Is he?
What are your thoughts?
I mean, Brock Purdy could make himself cement his legacy right next to Joe Montana and Steve Young.
All right.
It's some pretty good company to be in.
I'm assuming Garage Gamer's an Oregon fan. I'm sorry that my boy from LSU. I'm sorry my boy from LSU won the Heisman and stole it from you guys. Feel bad for that.
Hey, Hoots.
What's up, Hoots?
What's up,
It's
Hoots?
been a while,
How you
man.
doing, dude?
So Glare, yeah, UFC fan. What do you guys think of Caleb Williams goes to the Bears? You think they move Justin Fields? Yeah, I mean, I think they're gonna take Williams, and
I
I
think-
would have to think they move Fields
I think Caleb Williams pulls a Eli.
and says, "I'm not signing with the Bears."
I think
I
that's
mean,
what he
I'll
does.
never forgive him for not going to the Chargers. Like that to this day, it bothers
Yep.
me. That's
That's like such a punk
BS,
thing
you
to
guys.
do.
You're getting drafted to play professional football.
Yeah, you don't get to pick. Shut up. You're
Man.
too entitled at this point. Why did Big Brother Peyton go Eli? What the hell's the
Does
matter with
Elway
you?
get a pass though?
Elway?
No,
Yeah.
I agree with that too. You know, you guys.
No, they shouldn't. There's a lot of cases in sports. There was a famous
see
hockey
that
player.
Kush guy from Jerry Maguire.
Right.
Yeah, he needed Mahomes, right? Or he needed Kelsey. Yeah, he can't rely on anybody else. That was very evident in that game.
Kevin, you know what? Here's a tough one. Is Scantling catches that pass at the end of the game.
Yes, iced
That
the game.
son of a gun did nothing for the Packers for years. Like, and then he goes to the Chiefs and he's just making huge plays this year. And
But I mean, if you're Baltimore, okay, if we're gonna start getting into like the championship coverage, how do you just not? I mean, how do you let Travis Kelsey catch 11 passes or whatever it was that he caught?
What was their game plan?
I don't know. Try to let Lamar Jackson get into a shootout with Patrick
Because
Mahomes.
We got rookie season and second season Lamar Jackson just throwing freaking ducks.
I mean, the
up in the
Rangers have
air.
one of the best running games in football, and I think their top running back Gus Edwards had 6 carries in the game. 6.
It was ridiculous.
Like their game plan was literally, okay,
does the bye
we think
help
our guy's
you
better
out?
than your guy.
That O line was getting demolished.
Yeah,
Does
the
having a
bye.
bye help
I don't
you?
know.
Does it do more harm than good?
I
For a
would like
young
to look
Garage
at.
gamer.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm gonna throw a brick through my
dude,
TV if that happens.
The worst thing isn't the media coverage. The worst thing is the Swifties.
Yes. Yeah.
Because if you say anything negative about the media coverage, you're going to have a bunch of insanity following you.
14-year-old girls
internet.
slipping out.
Exactly. Yeah. And Garage Gamer, I think he will.
I agree.
It's too
The bye-
profitable.
the bye hurts, Kevin.
I believe in the conspiracy that Kelsey and Swift are together, not out of love, because they were friends at the beginning of the season. I think it's to make money.
Yeah.
I think the NFL is probably helping this along because they want her to be at games because I guarantee you they're bringing in viewers. That's why they show her 50 times a game.
They want her to do a halftime show. Eventually.
That's the one reason why I didn't really want Kansas City in the Super Bowl.
Me neither.
Yeah, Moat makes a good point here. I did want to comment on that real quick about the bye weeks. And I'd like to look up a stat, and I'm sure somebody's figured it out, what team records are after the bye week. And you figure it's probably pretty good because the teams get the byes are the best. But it's probably not as good as you think it is.
That's the 2011 Packers 15-1. How that bye did.
What did they do? Come out and just shit
They lost.
their pants right in
They
the first
lost
game?
to the Giants. Having a bye.
I want to know what the records are for anybody who gets first seed and they get the bye week.
Yeah, again, it's probably not as good as you think because they get that bye.
I mean, they get
you would think it'd be like 80%, 85% chance that they would win, but it's probably less than that because I do think that bye could be detrimental because then
Big
you
ups,
get some,
Kevin.
you got some of these. Hey, thanks, Kevin. Appreciate that, buddy.
Thanks, Kevin.
Yeah, you got these like 6 and 7 seeds that are fighting to get in, like Green Bay, that are playing playoff football for 5 straight weeks, and they just take a team like Dallas right out to the woodshed and just hand it right to them. So there is something to that, when you're playing meaningful football.
There's
the last
also,
month of the season.
Moat, you live in Wisconsin. You know how cold it is. Do the Packers
Same here, Mike.
want to play
Me
outside?
too.
Like, is having home field in Wisconsin good for a young team like that?
No.
I don't know
what's the
how.
advantage. Like,
it depends. Maybe it depends on who they play. But you would think like getting, if you get, say, I don't know, a team that's from the South coming up in there, say maybe Dallas were to visit them in the playoffs, and it's
I know, but this
minus 5 degrees in January, and Dallas, plays indoors or in ideal conditions.
You can't let the weather beat you, number one, right?
No.
I mean, it's just, is it to Pittsburgh's advantage of having a sub-zero day? I mean, it gets cold in Pittsburgh, right?
Oh yeah, real cold. Yeah.
A perfect example was the first run that we had in the NFC Championship where we faced who was the quarterback of the Bears when we faced them? What was that? 06?
Like Rex Grossman or something.
It was Rex Grossman, and it was freezing that game. And we play in a dome, obviously. And Breeze had one of the worst games of his life playing up at Soldier Field.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so I'm of the belief that if you're a dome team and you have to go up north and play in the winter, you're screwed. You know what I mean?
I guess it would if you have a strong running game and a strong defense, that's
Yeah.
probably would help you. And that's what with the Steelers and the Bills, I was kind of hoping for them to play in that blizzard, although I understand why they couldn't.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want it to come down to quarterback play, because if it did, we were going to lose, and obviously the inevitable happened.
Mike, I would rather have a young team like the Packers versus the oldest team in the league like my Saints. I'm just going to put that out there.
The Saints are the oldest team in the league?
Saints are the oldest team in the league.
Really?
Oh, I did not know that.
The worst in Cap Hill, too. So not only do we owe all this money to players like the Honey Badger and Cam Jordan, who are getting incredibly old.
Kevin's comment.
But we're the oldest team in the league.
Yeah, the rest of his career, not sure what happened. I mean,
Yeah, right,
he did make
right.
it to the Super Bowl that one year on Devin Hester returning 15 kickoffs for touchdowns. Wasn't that the year? Yeah, I think he did take them to a Super Bowl. Wasn't he their quarterback?
2006.
Yeah.
Against
Peyton Manning and the Colts, right?
Colts, yeah.
It was Manning's first one.
That was the year that we lost to them.
It's the Miami
NFC
Super Bowl.
Championship.
Oh, yeah.
I think it rained.
Yeah, it did,
Yep.
actually. It was nasty. Yeah, the youth. Yeah, of course. I'd take the young team. I don't know, Smoke. Maybe that's why the Saints didn't go out and
that's
hire
why
a head coach. Maybe they're just going to implode and gut the whole thing here.
Look at all the coaches that
They're
are
kicking the can, man. They're still under this impression they're kicking the can. You know, they still think it's the Breeze and Peyton it's the Breeze and Sean Payton.
Derek Carr's an okay quarterback, but is he ever gonna are they ever gonna win a Super Bowl with him? You know,
no.
I think he manages the game. You know,
he's a top 15 at best.
Yeah,
he'll get you stats, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Unless Kubiak, which we saw what he did with Purdy, where he unlocked the true potential of a random kid from Iowa State. Nobody knew, nobody saw him, and he was Mr. Irrelevant and made him into the next freaking Joe Montana. Unless Kubiak can see the true potential in Derek Carr and bump up his red zone efficiency from basically last in the league. I'm shooting for 15th. I'd be happy with 15th or 16th in the league. That means we're a contender at least. That means we win the NFC South.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I mean, there's no excuse for us to be 13th and 14th in overall offense, but last in red zone efficiency.
Yeah, that's
it's just if Kubiak can unlock that, then I'm fine with Carr for the next 3 years.
Yeah, I would say
I'd much rather
you have a chance now with the new offensive coordinator because they could change some looks in the red zone. I don't really pay too much attention to the Saints. I mean, they're kind of way off around here. They don't
small
show
market.
But,
we're small market.
So I don't know what their issues were, if they just weren't drawing up the right plays, or if they were just making stupid calls, or
so Pete Carmichael
weren't utilizing certain players.
Pete Carmichael, our OC, was OC for Sean Payton for 15, 16 years. And he didn't draw up plays. He didn't call plays. He held his clipboard. Yeah,
Drew Brees probably ran the offense. Well, first, Sean Payton was calling the plays, wasn't he?
Yes.
And then you had Drew Brees, who probably had the freedom to do whatever he wanted at the line of scrimmage. Whatever he saw, he was, the same with all the greats, like Brady and all them guys. Like, I'm sure they did whatever they wanted, and they won a lot more often than they lost.
For sure, Golaire, for sure.
Yeah, for
sure. But the second, we're one and done. Even if we make the wild card or we get fifth seed, fourth seed, whatever, whoever we're going to face, we're going to get bounced.
So had they made it into the playoffs, would you have thought that they would have beat Philly. Like,
Nope.
I still don't know how the Bucks, other than the Eagles just imploding, but
Eagles didn't care.
Yeah,
they thought they were going to walk all over them. They
I
just
think
didn't care.
they think they did, and
didn't help
good,
that
good on them, but
it didn't help that you had a lot of key injuries as well in that game too.
Problem, Kevin. Yeah, sports and art. Some of my favorite arcade games of all time are sports related.
Trying to type that.
You were going to type it.
The second video that I've made on my channel, since I'm doing the whole arcade A through Z thing, was 10-Yard Fight, which I used to play on the NES all the time. I never played the arcade version, and that is such a weird football game.
It is,
you control all the players.
Yeah, I wasn't ever really a fan of 10-Yard Fight on the NES.
10-Yard Fight's weird,
but especially after you're used to Tecmo Bowl and Super Tecmo Bowl, 10-Yard Fight just seems totally.
Here's a question: Super Tecmo Bowl, or here's the question: Super Tecmo Bowl or Tecmo Bowl?
I'm going to go with Super Tecmo Bowl, just because you have the license.
Isn't Bo Jackson on Super?
Yeah, well, yeah.
I love Bo Jackson on the NES one because he's basically like the glitch.
Yeah, he is. The fastest, most tackleable player.
Bo Jackson when they got hurt.
Oh, I mean, he's got to go down as one of the greatest athletes of all time.
Dude, the best.
Yeah.
Like, how could you be that good at multiple sports? And to play 2 professional sports at the same time, like, that just blows my mind.
He's the greatest athlete of all time.
He probably is. Yeah, I can't remember. I'm sitting here trying to think of like who you could compare him to. Like Deion Sanders, I guess, could be up there. Michael Jordan. I'm thinking of guys who played 2 sports, but neither one of those 2 really excelled.
What was that cartoon? What was that cartoon? Pro Stars with Wayne Gretzky.
Oh yeah,
That's so
Sports
bad.
All Stars or something like that. Though that'll have to be a nostalgia power topic one day.
Stock Baker's hella underrated. I give Baker all the props this year. If it wasn't for Joe Flacco, Baker is 100% comeback player of the year.
Yeah, I pretty much threw him out and left him for dead. I mean, we
Everybody
watched him pretty closely here with the Browns for years.
That's why they won the division. Like, he had a hell of a season.
Hey, he's the first overall pick though.
But there goes your option at drafting.
Hey, Todd.
Hey, what's up, Todd?
Hey, Nerd Lounge.
Hope you're doing well, dude.
Kevin,
there goes your option at drafting a QB, though. You're not going to be drafting a QB in the first round anymore.
No, you really can't right now. You got to give Baker another shot. And, Kevin, you might be right about that. Deion hitting a home run and scoring a touchdown the same week. It wouldn't surprise me. Okay. You verify that?
Mode calling
Tecmo
it out.
Super Bowl. Yes. More. That's why. It's a more refined game. I think the original may be a little bit more iconic, but Super Bowl has, the NFL license 11 on 11.
We're not getting any love.
And I'll beat anyone. I know, Mode. I've seen you play.
We're not giving any love to any of the Genesis football games, though, man. Primetime Deion Sanders football was like.
I never played it. I have that game.
Good.
I've never played it. I think Joe Montana has a football game.
Same franchise. It's just they gave one to Deion for some reason in '95. When I say like underrated Genesis soundtracks in games, like you got your Road Rash 2 and stuff like that. For some reason, like primetime Deion Sanders goes entirely too hard soundtrack wise. I can't explain it. Great game though. Great game.
NFL 2K5. Yeah. I was real big into Madden for like the longest time in the 2K games in the like my PS2 era. But there was a while there. I bet you I probably owned damn near almost 20 Madden games.
Well, you wouldn't play them after the next year.
But that's what would happen. I kind of like started losing interest. I'm like, you start buying the same game over and over again, and you're not really getting much in the way of improvements.
Incremental.
But that's it. Yeah, you'd have like maybe a new type of like an offensive run or something like that.
Hasn't the new Madden's essentially been the exact same since 19? Like they haven't changed.
I think you're right. There's actually videos out there that I've seen that
What's up, Retro?
People will zoom up into the stands and banners from previous Madden games will still be up there. Like they never change that much detail in the game. You'll be playing Madden 20 and there'll be like a Madden 18 banner way up.
Right. Really?
Yep.
Yeah. We got I got right on my shelf over there NCAA 14, and I still play it like every other day. And play
NCAA 14.
The online mode, like all the franchise modes and stuff like that, are just fantastic. If you could play, was it this NCAA like game live or something like that, unlocked or something, and the community's basically essentially been keeping that game alive. That's the reason why it was like a $200 game on eBay at some point.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's dropped down to like 80 or 90 because the new NCAA is about to come out, like Garage Gamer just mentioned. But
new college football game is
14 is fantastic. 14's awesome. Like,
well, the college football, do they drop the games that they make? Do they make those every single year? Don't they?
They haven't made one since 14. That's why
really
it's so expensive. Yeah.
Wow.
Because NIL. Now you can do it because of NIL. But
jeez, I didn't know that. I have a couple I actually think the last college football game I have, maybe it's 2K5 or something. I think like Matt Leinart or Reggie Bush or somebody was on the cover from USC like way back in the day.
Big ups, Glare. Thank you for the
thank you,
too, man.
Thanks, Glare.
Well, we appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Clairezilla.
We appreciate it.
I'm enjoying this. I always wanted to do sports talk.
This is fun.
Always my thing,
really
man. And so this week is unfortunately one of like the most boring sports weeks of the entire.
What are you talking about?
Sure.
The Pro Bowl this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, the NHL. I'm a big hockey fan. The NHL is I think their skills competition is tonight. The All-Star weekend is just a joke anymore. Right. The Pro Bowl is an absolute joke. What do they do? Flag football now?
It used to be.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, Phil, back in the 90s and stuff. I used to get excited for the Pro Bowl. Because those guys seem like they actually played to win.
There was a year, I think it was 95, Favre started because, they got knocked out by Dallas. And he found Rison like over and over. And then the next year, Andre Rison's a Packer. Like there was fun stuff back then.
See,
even the NBA All-Star Weekend, like it was great.
Yeah.
The 90s basketball, Kevin, I mean, your Bulls were unstoppable in the 90s. They won 6 championships for crying out loud.
I know.
I mean, we all...
like Kevin said, Eli versus Peyton. Like they tried this gimmicky stuff, and I don't know. I don't think they're ever going to be able to recreate what they had. Like I said, it seemed like back in the day, it seemed like they actually cared. The Pro Bowl was actually a thing.
I will say Eli versus Peyton is a good reason to tune into ESPN too, though. Monday Night Football. I'd rather watch that.
So did you guys know this back in the day? The Pro Bowl for at least a couple years used to be at the end of the season, they would take a team of college all-stars and play them against the Super Bowl champions. Did you guys ever know that?
I never knew that.
I heard the Packers lost to a college team once.
Oh my God, really?
Years ago.
I don't know the actual records on that. I think that only happened maybe 3 or 4 years, and this was like maybe in the 70s, early 80s, but that's what they used to do. Yeah, it was they get all the best players from college and play them against the Super Bowl champions. I mean, that'd be pretty cool. Imagine the money that would generate if they did that now.
I mean, could
someone say meat?
Big ups, Jason.
That MG in here talking about
thanks,
meat.
Jason.
Yeah, thanks, Jason.
Jason, you're sweet, dude.
North Carolina basketball team, like the Dallas Mavericks from the 90s.
90 NBA players would play a full season. That's crazy.
Mike, what's your take on the midseason tournament?
The midseason tournament for what?
NBA.
So it's all about money, isn't it? I mean, is that what the most incentive is here, Smoke Break?
It has to be.
Like, bonuses.
So what exactly are they doing? Is this is this their version of the All-Star game, or is it?
It's a legitimate tournament. It's a trophy and everything, and you're mid-season champion essentially. It's like they're trying to replicate what goes on with regional games, like in college baseball and stuff like that for conferences and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that translates well to the pro.
Yeah.
And it does. It seems like if they're paying them, I don't know, it seems like it's being forced. Now, the NHL is doing something like that next year. And because I heard today they're finally letting the players participate in the Olympics again, which is cool. Right. But so they're doing a mid-season tournament next season, but they're dividing it up by country. I mean, and I get it, the NHL is like international. There's a lot of different players from different countries. But yeah, the NBA, I was curious how are they picking teams for this? Is it based on division?
Ranking. It's ranking.
It's based on a ranking.
Yep. It's based on ranking.
Yeah, that seems like kind of like a gimmicky kind of thing.
The way I see it, I think they're doing it to justify the lull at the start-ish middle of the season, kind of like with baseball, how there's entirely way too many games.
Yeah.
And they're trying to justify the length of the season by inserting a tournament in the middle of it so that you have kind of a chase to the tournament with your ongoing record that you currently have, and then try and get a championship, at least a middle of the championship.
But what does that – is that something that's going to be like recognized and held as high as the championship at the end of the season?
See, they haven't really specified that yet, but with all the promotion, you would think so. And with this season being a test run of it, maybe.
And is it going to something that's going to be sustained that they're going to keep doing year after year? Or is it going to be like, okay, this ran its course. It's not really, it's not worth interrupting our season for however long it's going to be. And
exactly. We'll just see. With the test
run, I mean, I guess props to them for trying something different. Yeah. Because, like you said, I mean, once you get into March in college basketball, I mean, that's like a frenzy.
Yeah.
You know, people that don't even pay attention to college basketball start paying attention to it.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
filling out brackets and
the brackets.
Yep.
I mean,
speaking of brackets, have you guys done your Super Bowl squares yet? At work?
I haven't got in on any of those.
I haven't either.
Yeah.
The barbershop that I go to, they have one up there. I think they're doing it for $100 a block.
Really?
So a little bit on the upper end. But
I mean, we're getting into arcade one-ups with that money.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
I know. I mean, if you win, I think it was like $5,000 or something like that.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, what's up, Dave?
How's it going, Dave?
MG. I mean, we could do a meats show. Maybe we'll do it on Thursday.
Speaking of meats, I just had the double Big Mac, guys. It's a lot of meat.
The double Big Mac?
The double Big Mac.
How does your heart feel? Is it working extra hard right now?
The heart feels good. It's just as I kind of cleaned up
belly,
the insides. That's
oh, it just went right through you.
How much extra sauce did they put on it?
Dude, I don't even know if it's
sorry. Making a drink.
No, you're good.
If it's like there's just so much going on. Like it's just there's a lot in there.
Did you did you get the large fries with that too?
You bet. You bet.
Chiefs 5, San Francisco. I hope so. I hope it's no. You know what? Because if it's boring like that, it'll just be the Taylor Swift show. Then at that point, like, oh, what's Taylor Swift doing? You know, maybe they'll catch her like picking her nose or something like that.
Mostly plastic.
I mean, it does taste pretty good. It's good plastic then.
Big Macs are addictive, man. Like the guy, there's that one guy who has the Guinness Book of World Records. He's been eating a Big Mac a day for like 45 years.
Yeah, is that the guy Oprah brought in the 90s and he put him in the freezer and stuff? Like,
yeah. Dude, that sounds delicious, Garage Gamer. Sounds awesome.
Peanut butter pickle bacon burger.
I would mess that up.
I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something. You know, Elvis ate peanut butter, banana, and bacon. I think that was the sandwich. I mean, you got to try it. Peanut butter and jelly with bacon on it.
But like the pickle is what throws it off.
It's probably the crunch, though. Think about it.
Add some tang to it. A little bit of tang to it.
Maybe
a little bit of vinegary, a little bit of brine. MG, by the way, I'll cook some Boston butt on the pit for you.
Peanut butter is a fad right now on burgers. I mean, I'll have to take your word for it.
Sonic's got the peanut butter bacon blast thing going on. I think I have a burger.
Do they use? We talk peanut butter. What do you guys go with? Skippy? Are you Jif guys?
Jif.
Really? Skippy across the board, Mike.
Oh God, no. No, I can tell if it's not Jif. I'm like, this doesn't taste right. No. It's like ketchup. It's got to be Heinz, right?
Heinz is. I'll agree with you on that. Exactly. When a restaurant doesn't have Heinz, I get so worked up.
It tastes. It throws the taste off of whatever you're eating.
Y'all aren't going to give any love to Peter Pan? Come on, man.
No,
Peter Pan's great. That's my favorite.
All day, Dave.
No, I'm Jif, and that's it.
That's a delicious choice, nerd. That's what I like. Typically, that's what I like.
Sweet and salty, probably pretty good. Sounds like peanut butter and pickle. Maybe nice wing sauce too. Oh my god.
We're getting too
We're
adventurous.
getting a little bit crazy here.
Nah, it's too adventurous. It's a little bit too.
What's
the
that
hell is a
sandwich
Peter
in
Pan
Pittsburgh,
peanut
Mike, where they
butter
put the sauerkraut on?
No one
it?
didn't know the struggle.
Permane. The
Hot-
Permane sandwich.
Hot Rangus didn't know the struggle when it came to peanut butter. I mean, Peter Pan is like one step above government peanut butter. MRE peanut butter.
I would give it that, yeah.
I don't know why I like Peter Pan so much. I think that's what I grew up on.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what you grew up on, that's what you know. I mean, it's going to taste good. And that's probably why I ate Jif ever since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Right, a Reuben, MG, but Pittsburgh's got something different than a
Yeah,
Reuben.
it's called a
That's not-
Permane sandwich.
Well, what's on there?
Coleslaw, French fries, and whatever else.
I thought it was sauerkraut.
No, it's coleslaw.
Coleslaw.
Yeah.
I love sauerkraut.
Sauerkraut's great.
Yeah, it's great. You could just like dip potato chips in it.
If y'all ever end up in New Orleans, you gotta try the muffalata, man. It's our Italian sandwich. It's our like flagship. Everybody keeps talking about po' boys and stuff like that, about how Louisiana's like po' boy central and stuff.
That's right. Correct.
Choose your mom, choose it. Yeah, you're right. Muffalata will like knock your socks off, man. That thing is. It's like an onion. It's like a olive base on the top with like all the Italian meats underneath it, and like Swiss cheese and all kinds of different cheeses. It's so good, so good.
Yeah, the Permane. They put fries. Yeah, it is a chain, but it originated here, and that Pittsburgh's known for that.
Yeah.
Like Philly's
I
known
saw it
for
on one of those
cheesesteak.
food channels. You know, like
Mhm.
it had that like every
Guy Fieri will show up in his pink Cadillac or whatever.
yeah.
Got way off subject here, MG. You've derailed. You have officially derailed the stream. Now we're all getting hungry. You can't go wrong with adding fries to anything. I mean, really can't argue with that.
Hot Rangus is dropping Tourette's guys quotes in the chat.
Yes. Did you catch that? The peanut
I
butter.
caught it.
That was
Yeah.
the peanut butter alert.
Got a pissed off Puerto Rican outside.
If you guys haven't checked out Tourette's guy,
He's a classic.
you want to laugh hysterically.
He still makes videos, by the way. Like
Every once in a while, I see
Every
one
year.
that'll pop out.
every year. Still rocks it. Still rocks
I
it.
keep hearing rumors that the guy's dead, and then next thing you know, he's got another video out.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy.
Welcome to my world, boys.
I still want your jacket, Todd. I'm gonna keep pestering you. I'm gonna steal it from you.
So we'll get into a little bit of the Super Bowl. If we're gonna, maybe we'll dive. Maybe if you guys want to do this again next week, we can.
So let's not make our picks until next week.
Yeah.
I was gonna
We'll
ask
get
that
into
question.
it. Yep. Oh yeah, that's right. Carl Weathers. I did
Carl
see
Weathers
that
died?
Yesterday. Oh, I
Really?
forgot.
Yeah,
Yes.
I just saw that
Unbelievable.
today.
It was 76.
Yeah, he wasn't that old. He was just in the
Yeah, I was
Mandalorian.
talking about what's your favorite Carl Weathers? I mean, it's Rocky, right? I mean, it's a Apollo Creed.
Yeah,
I still can't believe he played in the NFL too.
he was in
linebacker.
The Predator too. I mean, that famous.
So my buddy at work goes, Happy Gilmore's his second
Yeah.
best role.
Yeah,
And I go,
Happy
I
Gilmore.
can't.
Damn
You
alligator, bit off my hand.
you got to go with the muscles, like Action Jackson before Happy
Mhm,
Gilmore. I mean,
mhm.
Carl Weathers was ripped. Like I don't know if he was funny.
He
in
was,
Happy
like,
Gilmore, but I wouldn't say
crazy
that was
ripped.
his second best role. You got to
Predator.
take the strongman Carl Weathers ahead of that.
I never believed that Rocky could take Carl Weathers to a draw in Rocky 1. No way.
No way. I mean, let's face it. Sylvester Stallone couldn't have beat anybody that he beat. Who'd he fight? Hulk Hogan, Mr. T.
Yeah. Who was the Russian's name in 4?
Ivan Drago.
Yeah,
Dragunov,
Drago.
yeah.
Yeah. He probably would have been a severe underdog in all of those fights.
That's what Rocky. He was the underdog.
That's why in Philly they built a statue of him.
Hey.
Well, that's the story of one, is that he's a complete bum, and it's amazing that he brings, Carl Weathers to a draw at the end of it, and then it just becomes completely unrealistic from 2 onwards. Like,
Hey, it's the best franchise ever.
yeah, I mean, it's fun. Yeah,
Lando was his best role in Star Wars. He said I confused him for Billy D.
MG, you crack me up like in every stream.
Confused him for
Arcade
Billy D.
Anonymous, this MG's the goat, man.
But no, that is sad that Carl Weathers died.
It is.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Yeah, he did have, and I didn't realize that until I started thinking about it. I'm like, oh yeah, I just remembered him instantly from Rocky.
Born
And I
in
was like-
48. I was like,
Yeah, I was like,
still
wait a
live with
minute.
my
Then he's a
dad.
Predator. He was in Happy Gilmore. He was in this and this. I'm like, in The Mandalorian. I'm like, he was in a lot of stuff.
I wonder
Who
how
did he
many
play in The
kids he had.
Mandalorian?
He was like the president or the leader of one of the planets that
He called him Mando.
Yeah, he called. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I think he might have been in like the very first episode.
Really?
Here we go. Kirkland signature organic peanut butter. Peanuts and sea salt are the only ingredients.
Costco, man.
Huh.
Costco's
You got to
underrated
mix
for
that,
everything.
Ryan. Do you
Take
gotta,
your word for
mix
it.
that together?
Yeah.
Does it get kind of oily? You know, some of that peanut butter. You
Oh
gotta-
yeah,
Mhm.
that's when I usually don't. I won't. You open
I
that
chucked
jar.
one the other
and
day.
There's
I
that
said,
much left,
"Eh."
and there's like a quarter inch of oil. I'm like, yeah, the stuff on the bottom is probably all crusty. Time to get some new peanut butter. Fine, we'll do a peanut butter stream next week then.
I'll go to the store
I'll
and
bring
buy
my
the,
Skippy.
Yeah,
I'll go to Costco
We'll do
and
a
get the
taste
6-gallon
test.
drum.
We'll compare Skippy, Peter Pan, and Jif.
I'll go to Dollar Tree and go get a big jug of it.
There's no doubt about it. Skippy's got the most sugar in it. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Oh yeah, it does.
come on. It's got to.
I mean,
more than
Reese's makes
sugar.
good peanut butter. I'll give them that.
I've never tried it.
It actually is good. It almost
It is.
tastes like the peanut butter that's inside the Reese's cup.
Really?
If you like Reese's cup,
really?
Hot Rangus dropping more Tourette's guys quotes.
That's good, man. Hot Rangus, you crack me up, dude.
He's a good buddy of mine.
Yeah. MG cracks me up too.
So, looking at the Super Bowl next week, we won't get into predictions because we will really dig deep into it next week.
Who wears the away jerseys? Is it the?
I would
It's
imagine it would
San
be
Fran, so they're going to wear their white because it's an AFC stadium.
Is that how
I
that
was-
works, or is it based
I
on
think
record,
so.
or they
I
go?
thought it was
think
Do they
it's-
alternate back and forth each year?
I thought it was.
Oh no, you know what? Whoever has the higher seed, I think they can
team.
actually choose
Yeah.
Really?
what color they want to do it. Yep.
Take
49ers
a
are the
bathroom
away
break.
team.
Blair Zill is right.
Bathroom break.
All right. He's an idiot.
I
Phil, I think you were right on your prediction last week, though. I think you called this one. Wasn't this your picks? You KC and San Fran?
yeah, but
I think that's what you said.
Yeah,
I picked
yeah.
Baltimore, San Francisco, and I think
Yeah, but then for a while there, we were kind of thinking it was going to be Detroit. I mean,
it
That was
should have been. It
crazy.
should have
Yes.
been Detroit. Oh, can you imagine how sick you would be if you were
You
a Lions
know,
fan? The second
well-
time you were ever in a championship game, never in a Super Bowl, up 24-7 at halftime.
it's just the second half. Anything can happen. I mean, that's the same thing happened to the Falcons in the Super Bowl, Mike. 28-3. I mean,
Yeah, I know. Well, at least that was against Tom Brady.
Look, you guys were talking about NFL 2K5. There's a thing in there on the Eagles Packers divisional playoff game, 4th and 26.
Oh, it's like one
I
of the
mean, there's
achievements.
plays-
Yes, I remember when they used to do that.
There are things happen.
So the
in
Eagles.
sports.
Oh, it was right. It was Donovan McNabb, right?
Yep.
He converted. Oh my God, I forgot about
4th
that. That was
and
against the Packers.
26.
They went on to they went to the Super Bowl that year, didn't they?
Yeah, so they
They,
played.
they lost to New England.
No. They played the Panthers, and the Panthers beat them. And the Panthers played New England. And
Oh yeah.
to open up the season, it was Green Bay at Carolina, and they ran the ball, I want to say 47 times against Carolina. They pounded them, and it was basically, we should have went to the Super Bowl and not you. Yeah, well, it was 4th and 26.
Yeah. Am I saying the Lions fans need our 24/7 support, or the halftime score was 24/7? I would say both at this point.
I think they're just happy that they made it to.
But how, like I said, how sick though. Like they've never been that close before, and you were. I mean, that was the worst collapse in championship game history.
What about the Bills and the Chiefs?
As far as what?
No, Titans. It was the Titans when Vrabel completely fell apart. But that wasn't a championship game. That was
just a playoff game.
just a playoff game. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting there watching that Detroit San Francisco game last week, and I'm going, I can't believe, like, Detroit's going to the Super Bowl. I'm like, I can't believe this.
There's
Like, barring some epic collapse, which I never saw
start
coming.
believing it,
Yeah.
and the Detroit fans are probably just feel bad. I know the feeling. I mean, you're just crushed. You
the
actually
fourth down
convince
failed
yourself
conversions.
this is going to happen.
The metrics said go for it, and you could have had 6 points.
You take
And
the
better field
points when
position.
you're on the road. You always take the points.
Yeah, you do. And
Every
because
time.
what was it? It was right after half. San Francisco went down, got a field
The
goal.
momentum,
Detroit
yeah.
got it back. They could have kicked that field goal, kept the score at 17 with a quarter and a half left. And you can almost see it coming. Like you could see Detroit choking as they were choking.
Yeah,
I've watched
Dan Campbell losing it.
I've watched Tom Brady beat my team for years, coming back, and I'm sitting there going, "We're going to lose this game because
you knew it was
we
happening.
can't do
There was
anything on
nothing-
offense. We're playing scared, and they're just doing whatever they want, and
It's
time
tough.
can't tick off the clock fast enough." And
MG wants to annoy you.
yeah, the first half, right? I mean, yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
Couldn't close it off. I mean, they had every opportunity in the world. And that's why I don't think they're going to beat the Chiefs. I mean, we'll do official predictions next week because anything can change. But the Packers should have beat them, and Detroit should have beat them.
Well, the Packers did beat them. The Packers beat themselves. You have to take the points when you're on the road. It was the first early in the second quarter. They got to take the field goal. You know,
you should have. You have to. But like somebody said earlier, it was Dan Campbell. Apparently that's their thing though. Like that's what they did all year. They just went for it.
That's what we wanted to see was Eminem versus Taylor Swift. Kevin's right. That's
yeah. Eminem finally put her in her place. Yeah, the Packers did have the momentum in that game.
That's a young team, and you know what? It's not that it's the coach LaFleur messed up by that call. I mean that.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it will motivate the guys.
In the playoffs, it's all. I mean, it could come down to that. Just one bad call.
But again, like Detroit, I had believed we were going to win that game, and you set yourself up. And
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like those poor fans that never got to experience anything like that, they're probably sitting there going to themselves, "We finally, cool, buddy. They finally got their chance."
How you doing, Phil?
Hey, I'm good. How are you? I'm just trying to read Mike's lips.
You could take solace in the fact that you made Dak Prescott shit his pants. So if I'm a Packers fan, I take solace in that.
That was my favorite game of the whole playoffs. Watching Dallas just get pasted like that.
It was great.
And all their smugness, and I mean, there were rumors that Belichick might end up down there. That McCarthy was going to get fired, and
I would give my left nut for Mike McCarthy, honestly, in New Orleans. Like I know, Phil.
You take McCarthy?
I would take McCarthy.
Here's what I liked about McCarthy is he's one of those no nonsense head coaches. Like there's routines going on. Like he's like down to business. It's having players buy into that program. That's why they're going a younger route with these coaches.
Right. Is
they're not connecting with these guys. Like how much respect does McCarthy get in Dallas? Are they listening to him at all? Rodgers did.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Dallas is a tough place to be a coach.
Jerry Jones.
You have him looming over you all the time. I just imagine.
I've always liked McCarthy, and watching his press conferences when he coached the Packers, he was just a hard ass. He's just up there and he's business, and that's what I liked about him. And
if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. Oh man, playoffs. Playoffs. Oh, I'm seeing Jim Mora in commercials again is just it makes
anytime they bring that back.
So happy. Oh man, people. I mean, like everyone just highlights Peyton's era with Breeze, but like the Hazlitt era with Aaron Brooks wasn't that bad. They won a playoff game. It was our first playoff win of all time. Jim Mora wasn't that bad. I mean, he had bad seasons. Ditka was terrible. Don't get me wrong. Ditka was like.
I mean, you traded your entire draft for Ricky Williams.
It was the worst trade. I mean, people think the Trey Lance trade is horrible. No, we traded every first round pick for the next 3 years and every pick in that year for Ricky Williams. So I don't know.
I mean, Williams was a beast. He was a stud.
Just not in New Orleans.
Well,
The Dolphins, he was.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a beast coming out of college, I guess, but he
Well, you could
Like
have
killed it in Texas.
Scantling.
Yeah.
You could have Scantling miss wide open bombs from Aaron Rodgers, or just like leaping 3rd and
Yeah,
10.
I
You know,
mean, I didn't think he was going to come down with that.
you kidding
No.
me?
And then he did. Like, it was just straight up over
That's
the
what
head,
hurts.
into the hands, secured it, game over.
Yeah.
Take that, Ravens.
Kevin, would you rather have Jerry Jones or Diet Coke Jerry Jones and Jimmy Haslam with the Browns?
Oh,
Is my
God.
question.
Yeah, Jerry Jones is definitely the problem. That's the definition of an owner, not letting his employees do their job.
Because Jimmy Haslam wants to be Jerry Jones, but is not going to be Jerry Jones ever. Ever.
So watch a few documentaries, and all the players said Jimmy Johnson kept everyone together and held people accountable. Jerry Jones absolutely has an ego. Yeah, that's why when they were saying, "Oh, Belichick," I'm like, there is no way those two could ever coexist. I just don't see it. No way. I mean, maybe it was just like fun speculation, but
You got to think of a franchise that needs a complete gutted rebuild with a new GM and new coach. And I really can't think of any off the top of my head that need one. And essentially, that's the reason why I think he didn't get fired. He didn't get hired.
Mm-hmm.
Not really a
I
team
just can't see
defense.
with him being that close to Don Shula's coaching wins record. I just don't see him being done yet. If he can find a job, maybe he
If
will
he
be
can
done.
find a job, I mean, who's gonna? What team?
I don't know. Somebody out there, like a desperate team that needs like
Are the
some
Raiders? Are the
publicity.
Raiders crazy enough to make a move like this?
Probably. I'm thinking like the Carolina Panthers or somebody like that just has nothing going for them. Like, you know what? If we bring him in, we'll have all this interest, and maybe them. Like, what do they have going on? Really,
Nothing.
Yeah.
You saw Cliff got hired today as OC for the Raiders, right?
I did. Yeah.
I'm actually kind of excited to see that because if there was one strong suit with Kingsbury, it was his offenses. So,
yeah, I know. There's a little face sitting behind me over here. Yeah, the Steelers got their new offensive coordinator, the Falcons' ex-head coach, Arthur Smith.
Yep.
And I don't know how I feel about that.
We almost hired your OC, by the way, not Matt Canada, but
Sullivan.
Yeah.
Where would Russell Wilson go?
I have no idea why we introduced
I don't know where Russell Wilson. He's going to be gone apparently. I think
that
they are going to trade him.
Peyton said he never wanted him.
Sean Payton is an egomaniac. If he doesn't get along with Russell Wilson, he benched Russell Wilson because he didn't.
What's up, BCB? Giants fans saw a star today that
BCB.
Giants have the worst record in the NFC over the last 10 years. That's so freaking embarrassing. Franchise led by Dan Snyder has more success. I would not have bet that the Redskins or the Commanders now have more wins than the Giants over the last 10 years. That's saying something.
I do like Dable though. I think Dable is a decent coach.
They're another team that is kind of lost at the quarterback position right now. They have a failed first round pick.
They're stuck in that contract too.
Yeah, I mean, at least with like New England, you know what? God, what the hell is the kid's name? I can't
Mac
think
Jones.
of it. Yeah, Mac Jones. I was thinking of Zach Jones. Mac Jones.
An answer.
And that was Belichick's one chance at drafting a quarterback, and he kind of screwed that one up. I don't know if he just
Zappy was better.
Zappy was. I mean, where did he come from? Was he undrafted?
Zappy came out of Toledo, I think, if I remember correctly, and was undrafted. He came out of like some MAC school or something like that.
I don't think he was drafted. And Mac Jones is the first round pick.
But
yeah, we're drinking tonight in honor of Apollo Creed.
I got my Modelo in the fridge.
Drink one
I
to
should have
that.
grabbed one.
Yeah, are you up for Street Fighter 2 beat 'em ups tomorrow, Mike? You gonna fire up your HS5?
Yeah, I need to get that thing some love. The buttons are still nice and stiff, and the joystick. I mean, I haven't played that enough.
When are we gonna play Blitz, boys?
I know. Yeah, that's another thing. I have my game room on right now. The heaters are going.
The only person I've played with so far is Fridge, and I need to play with.
I know we were supposed to play one night, and I can't remember what happened.
Yeah.
Oh, it was the playoff football, or the playoffs.
Yeah,
because they pushed the Steeler game to Monday night.
That'd be fun.
And they were just close enough that I had to keep watching.
Right.
They couldn't just let that blowout in the first quarter continue. No, they had to pull close, and then they had to suck me in and then ruin it in the end. That's what they always do.
I understand your pain with Matt Canada, by the way. He was our OC for 2 seasons at LSU, and it was offensively the worst 2 seasons that we've had. And
he did a little tenure up here at the University of Pittsburgh, and he didn't do very well either. I don't
Whose
understand.
idea was it to hire him? I don't
Mike Tomlin, supposedly. That's he has all the control, and it was his decision to keep him too. And he should have been fired after last season.
I agree.
It was a year too late.
That temper tantrum he threw in that press conference was interesting.
I'm curious about Arthur Smith. I really am. I mean, he did well in Tennessee with a similar style. Oh, it's my wife's home. A similar style of offense that the Steelers have, which is a run heavy. Of course they had Derrick Henry, and I'm not comparing Najee Harris to Derrick Henry, but when you have a young quarterback that you're not sure about, you want to bring in a guy that knows how to run the football and run it well, and they still have a pretty good defense. So
I believe in Kenny Pickett. I've seen some good play.
He had one good year in college, like in one really, really good. I mean, Heisman candidate type year. But
I don't think he's a lost cause.
No, I don't either. But
he needs development.
Next year is going to be his key year. It just he had a crap offensive coordinator for 2 straight years. That didn't help anything.
Kevin, the Titans imploded, man. Everybody was hurt this year. Everybody was hurt. Their O-line was hurt. He couldn't. He's also getting older.
And he's absorbed a lot of punishment.
Yeah,
since he initiated a lot of that punishment.
Look at the backs Tennessee has had. They had who was that? Eddie George. It's like 6'5".
I know. George was a beast.
Just big.
Tomlin is the most tenured coach in the NFL now. I think that the Belichick's out.
Yeah, we keep talking about Belichick, but we need to talk about Mike Vrabel. And we need to talk about how the silence.
Yeah, you brought that up before we got on, and I
didn't
even think about that because, I mean, Pete Carroll and Bill Belichick are just pretty much legendary names. But Vrabel, a guy who's probably in his 50s,
he
did some really good things with the Titans.
He pulled the best out of Tannehill. Tannehill was a lost cause with Ryan Gase. In Miami. It was horrible.
Yeah,
and he salvaged. Tannehill. Will Levis had potential and looked good until he got hurt a couple times.
Yeah,
great drafts.
I mean, I don't know. They had a pretty bad year, but I mean, bad by what people were expecting them to be.
Wow, that was 20 years ago.
He hit 2,000 yards. Yeah, the rest was downhill. Well, I mean, that's the thing with being a physical style, contact style runner.
Look at Zeke.
I still think Derrick Henry's could be an effective back. Yeah, Zeke is another one. He got
Patriots.
That's the thing, man. And he said that. Yeah, those running backs don't last long. They don't. Like in Pittsburgh, Le'Veon Bell hit a wall like that. Go being from one of the most dominant runners in the game.
That's what happens is being a running back, though.
Yeah, you hit 28, 29, and all of a sudden you can't do it anymore.
Unless you start doing stuff like that, like the Saints do with Kamara, where he's more of now I'd say more of like a fullback than anything else, or just a running screen plays and stuff
like Al Bundy.
BCB,
you got to give us a week to think about that. I don't know. I mean, maybe we can give score predictions, but I don't know if I want to commit to who I think is going to win the game yet, even though I know in my head who my heart's telling me is probably going to win.
Yeah, the scores, that's a tough one. We should pick a score next week, too.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll go winner, score, MVP.
Yeah, I agree.
We'll go
MVP. That's pushing it.
Frank Gore was a cheat code in the NFL, Kevin.
Yeah, he was. He's number 3 in all-time rushing yards. Well, I mean, he played for 56 years, I think.
Yeah, felt like it.
They had leather helmets whenever he was a rookie.
Right. You really think Rudolph is going to be the starter, Mike?
No.
I don't either.
No, even if they would have beat the Bills, he would not, because the Steelers can't get out of their own way sometimes. They think they know better than everybody, and they're too proud. And we drafted Pickett; he's our guy. So damn it, we're going to stick with him, even if it means we're going to put this guy on the bench and sacrifice another year.
Hey, Thumper,
that's just the way they do business.
Thumper, I do have some Arcade 1-Up news.
Ooh, let's hear it.
My news is stop beating up on Arcade 1-Up when At Games is making bigger mistakes at the moment.
Yeah, they are making bigger mistakes. I was talking to Mike about that yesterday.
Yeah.
What the heck is going on with At Games?
Let's ban people from an unofficial Reddit that we're not even affiliated with for spreading mods and talking crap about.
I don't know. At Games. I mean, somebody must have found an open exhaust port glitch or something in the At Games and fired a photon torpedo down it.
Right. I love my Legends Ultimate. That's what I do. On pretty much all my gaming on.
I know, but what's the issue with the ALP? Because I don't have the clear
4K,
story here.
It's the 4K pinball. I think there's like
display next week PCB
with the 4K pinball. There were shipping issues. The shipping issues were mostly due to like FedEx though, but there were inconsistencies with pre-orders. So communication with pre-orders. Some certain people were getting theirs, other people weren't, and they're supposed to be in the same like time frame.
Hey, Biggie D.
And then there's obviously the drama going on in the Facebook groups where At Games is basically banning people in unofficial groups.
Really?
Which, yeah, it's a little weird. I'm just tired of hearing about Arcade 1-Up every day. Like, we get it. They're not. They're radio silent at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just it
they
hurt.
They got deluxes to sell right now. There's your Arcade 1-Up news. They need to sell deluxe.
It's like the military. Hurry up and wait. They'll drop news soon. Yeah, is what it is.
I mean, we got an Oreo cookie Pac-Man cap coming up.
Hope it comes with milk.
Yeah,
a glass of milk.
Yeah, what is it? Was that a deluxe cabinet? I don't even want to talk about that.
Yeah,
what's up, Biggie? How you doing, Biggie?
Yeah, Arcade 1-Up has no news.
So reskinned deluxe cap.
I met Biggie for the first time in chat yesterday, and I think it was what was the stream yesterday? Give me a second. It was Chaotic stream, Yo Retro. That's an awesome stream, by the way. Yo Retro's really
those guys are doing a good job.
They're doing a really good job.
Him and Half Dozen. They're both really cool dudes. Awesome. Me and Phil both. We got to meet both of those guys in person.
Yeah, we had a
hang out with them all weekend.
Too. We all hung out. Yeah, we had a couple of meals together, and
I want to go to that convention that's going to be in Georgia. I mean, I live in Louisiana. It's like a 15-hour drive. Southern Fried. I'd like to go to that. Chaotic's awesome.
Oh yeah, Garage Gamer. That's right. You're doing a stream. That's right.
Drop
9 o'clock your time, midnight my time. Ooh.
Let me add you.
Give me a few more of these. I might be up still.
Let me add you real quick, Garage, so I can catch that. I want to do that.
Yeah, if you're up late, definitely check out Garage.
What time? Tonight. What time is it going to be?
So are you an hour behind me?
Yeah, I'm central.
You and Phil are central, so it'd be 11 o'clock your time. 11 o'clock your time.
Fill up, man. I'll stop by.
So BCB saying Chiefs win. Mahomes absolutely the MVP. Could go for 5 for 25, no touchdowns. He's too much of a media darling. That's probably not that far off. If it's up in the air, if he's 10 for 10 for 200 yards and Kelsey is 10 for 10 for 200 yards and each one of them have 5 touchdowns, they'll always give it to the quarterback. Oh, in this case, they might not. Because any exposure to Travis Kelsey, you get Taylor Swift on camera, and they want that in the worst way. Because we all know the NFL is hurting for money, right?
You want to answer Clairzilla's question?
Nostalgia power tomorrow? Absolutely.
What are we talking tomorrow, Mike? Spoiler.
Going back to the 70s.
70s.
Yeah, a little before. Phil, you're a 70s baby, aren't you?
79.
79. So technically, yes. I mean, you don't remember anything about the 70s? What did you say, Smoke?
88. 36. I'm 36, yeah.
You're a kid.
Oh, man.
I feel my knees are gone and my back's starting to get bad.
Well, welcome to your upper 30s.
And I use a CPAP, so I mean, like, I feel, I don't know. It's all right. I've always wanted to ask you this, PD7. I guess I'm going to do it on stream. How do you find the time to go to all of these stores and make these
Because I don't do anything else.
I love the videos, dude. I really do. Hey,
I appreciate it, man. Now I work out in the morning. I get up at 3:45 Monday through Friday. As horrible as that sounds, I work out in the morning.
Yep.
Work 10, 11 hours a day, and then when I get off, it's YouTube, man.
That's what's up. That's
Yeah.
what's up.
If you ever notice how Mahomes walks off the field, better runway walk than Taylor Swift.
I'm telling you,
I haven't noticed.
Conspiracy. Still think it's a conspiracy that they're hooking them up. NFL's hooking them up.
You might be onto something there.
Declared Zilla, 88, yeah, but no 70s shows of music. Yeah, I mean, I was born in 83, so a lot of those 70s shows were kind of still around, and I did a whole heck of a lot of research on a lot of that stuff, and the 70s was a pretty crazy year as far as like putting quality content out there, basically.
Yeah.
You know, you'll get TV shows, cartoons, we'll get into all that tomorrow morning. There's a ton of good stuff, like classic, all-time classic
I just saw Plastic Man was 79.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll talk about
a good
Super
topic
Friends,
in
Phil.
the morning.
Yeah, Super Friends, definitely.
There's a channel that I'm sub to, and I forget the name of it, and I'll tell you at some point, Mike. But literally, if you're, and this goes out to Glairzilla, if you're like a late 80s, early 90s kid like we are, they literally have nothing but like Fox Kids and Disney Saturday Morning, like 4-hour, 5-hour blocks on VHS just recorded, and you can watch it at any time. And me and my wife were that's powering through that kind of stuff.
Yeah, what Mike? Who was that?
Great.
Who was the guy that Ralphie was suggesting?
No, you and I were talking. He had all those like the 4-hour blocks. Something. Shoot,
I can't remember. I know you're talking about.
I watch it. I'll just put that on. It's just like
it's awesome because is that the one that they have like the commercials in there and everything too?
Yeah, that's what I was watching.
Yeah.
I think we might have been watching the same channel.
We probably are. Yeah, we probably are.
It has 2 words in it. That's all I know.
Yes. I keep thinking it's recipe. It's not the retro recipe guy, but it's like something similar to that.
And then there's the VHS something. I'm trying to remember that guy
Yeah.
that does rips. And then there's his name's Vampire Robot, and all he does is show footage that he recorded in buildings and places in the like 80s, 90s, and 2000s. So like he'll do electronics section, Walmart 2001 or whatever, or mall or KB Toys or whatever.
I wish I would have like
chronicling all of that.
If we had footage on that now, like would that be awesome? KB.
Yeah.
Kmart. Radio Shack. Just
dude, there's
even
a guy
Suncoast Video. Like
I know there's a guy I follow. I don't know if it's called like
good.
My Retro Life or something is the guy's name.
Yeah, his dad recorded everything.
Yeah, like he has all these videos of him going to these arcades in like the 80s and 90s playing.
We got to plan out a trip by Garage Gamer. We got to go to that Blockbuster out by him.
Oh my god, I know. Awesome. It's almost worth flying across the country just to go step foot in the Blockbuster.
It is worth. Man,
I've been watching a lot of concrete. I mean, that's a good skill to know, MG. I need to pour a pad out here.
I'm picking up on MG being a little bit of a MG's a little bit of a shit poster. That's what I'm picking up on a little bit.
I mean, maybe a little bit, maybe just a tad. I don't know.
Oh, Blitz or Tecmo? I brought that up in one of my videos, and me and my brother-in-law decided it was Blitz.
Yeah, Phil, did we talk about this last week? Either on Nostalgia Power or something. We debated this. The same exact question.
The PlayStation Blitz. That's my favorite.
Yeah, I think I also picked Blitz, but I picked the Nintendo 64 Blitz.
I like Dreamcast.
That's the one I played.
Like Dreamcast Blitz.
But if I had to, those would definitely be my 2 favorite.
Our arcade went up. That's not the same Blitz that I remember. Not because of the hitting. It's not.
Just the gameplay is.
I like PlayStation.
A little bit different. But it's still pretty cool to have. All that. Even going into the knowing that Blitz was going to be altered. It did. I was still buying.
I'm not going to get right. Dude,
Blitz was the first cabinet I got.
Was it?
What other ones you got, man?
Got it at Ollie's.
Did you?
I just started collecting cabinets probably in like November. I've got a iArcade that I got from Marketplace for $100. MIA boards coming in the mail tomorrow. I've got the Blitz and I've got the At Games Legends Ultimate.
Nice.
That's my multi-cade. And I probably play honestly the Blitz the most, to be honest with you.
Well, it's so fast paced. I mean, you get a game in 12 minutes. It's
but the biggest thing for me is like I don't really care about the late hits being taken out because you're still doing wrestling moves and you're
Right.
still.
Yeah, you really
I
are.
don't care about that either. It's just that I cannot stop a team. Like there's this.
The AI is like.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
ridiculous.
you can't get too far ahead, and if you're down in the fourth quarter, you better be prepared to be in for a nail biter because
BCB, I'm gonna make you angry. Like I
Tecmo
love
Super Bowl is GOAT. I mean,
I like Tecmo Super Bowl, but like Genesis, freaking.
I would
Time is better.
Tecmo Super Bowl is my number 2. I mean, it is.
Prime Time is my second, and Tecmo Bowl is my third.
Just be careful, man. Don't buy. They get addicting. Next thing you know, you'll have 20.
My wife got mad that I bought 3 of them, which is why I'm not buying one until Christmas of next year. So that's why I got the multi-cade to hold me off until Christmas.
Yeah, the no late hits kind of suck. But the only thing I really liked the late hits is when we were playing on Nintendo with I'd be playing against my brother or something. It was always a good way to just make them that much more angry.
Them fighting words, BCB. Yeah. Garage Gamer. Yeah. I'm more mad about them altering the rosters. Than,
I don't like that.
Yeah.
That does suck. I mean, I get it. The same with NBA Jam. Like I said,
I think it's worse with NBA Jam.
Thorn in my side about Reggie Miller not being in that game. Yeah, it is. I think it is worse because there's less players.
Yeah.
So when a big guy's not available, it's more noticeable.
They got Brett Favre. I'm good, man.
That's all you need. I mean, the Steelers have everybody, so I guess I don't really care. I don't mind that much on blitz.
Phil, I got a game for you to play since you're such a big NBA Jam fan, and I think you might actually possibly put this on the same level as it. You need to play 2-on-2. Oh no, it's 4-on-4 Dunk Madness. I'm not sure if you ever heard on that.
No, what's that on?
It is arcade. And
Thanks, BCB.
Let me see. I have a video also on it, but 3-on-3 Dunk Madness.
Thanks, BCB. Yeah, I wonder if it's on the Bobby Sarah.
I have it.
Yeah, we know you're joking, Garage.
I have it on my.
It's still a great game, great cabinet.
I have it on my coin.
Later, Kevin. Thank
you.
Later,
Kevin. It was good seeing you.
Yeah, that'd be cool, Thumper. A soft mod for NBA Jam with all the OG players. That would be awesome.
Have you broke it down yet, Thumper Squid? Are you still holding out?
Holding out for what?
I think is it under $4.99, or is it $3.99 or $4.99? You'd pull the trigger. Shaq Jam, because he's got the monitor.
I want the Shaq one.
Oh, he does.
I'll tell you, it is tough deciding between the two.
Yeah, I think my next MK. I think my next one's gonna be MK. I'm waiting for the XL. If they make an MK XL, I'll buy it.
I'd have to think that. Well,
we're all hoping for an XL.
Yeah.
I want one with Thor. I know. Like there's so many content creators out there that want MK4, and I don't understand why. Why is this so difficult? Yeah, to get it. I put it on the XO. Hopefully, who knows.
I would like a MK1 artwork on the XL, even if they leave Pasita
Johnny Cage off of it.
MK4 looks terrible, but plays great. I don't think it looks terrible either. I mean, that's the same year that.
You saying the cabinet looks terrible, or the gameplay looks terrible? Like the game graphics look terrible.
That's what I'm wondering.
At games is your best chance at MK4.
Would they be able to play MK4 online though, Biggie? Like that's the huge thing. Like,
yeah, you kind of have to have those games. As long as we can get everything
online for at games, that'd be great.
MG, I mean, that's the same year that Soul Edge came out. Soul Edge came out when.
Yeah, and it needs a Zeus board to run on. No, I don't see that happening from Arcade One Up. I don't know. I don't think they're gonna.
What?
Blow our minds with anything this year. Really
Make an Oreo MK.
Wrong.
Oreo MK cab. I'll take that.
That's what I was asking for all last year.
Maybe they'll
come out with a double Big Mac cab too.
Another casino cage. That's what I want.
It's got hardware written all over it, Mike.
I know. Yeah, I think if they released Mortal Kombat 4, we're not going to get anything.
Yeah, I agree 100%, Garage Gamer.
Groundbreaking.
Because Travis, Tekken came out of Travis's mouth accidentally.
The thing is,
oopsie.
I've always wondered about this. I mean, if you get Robotron, it has to have Maximum Carnage and Smash TV on it, right?
Oh yeah,
I
would say that's
must.
That's pretty much yeah.
And but guys, I think Total Carnage should be. I'm more looking forward to that one on there. I know Mike Smash TV. I mean,
but dude, I love
Total Carnage is underrated,
man.
Yeah. All three of those games, they would get a ton of play on it because all these cabinets, they have multiple games, and some of them I don't play ever.
On that thing.
Yeah,
dude, I'd be like, dude, we're going on there right now.
Yep. 2-player Smash TV, 2-player Total Carnage online. MG canceled his
MG?
family. Well, that's good. Street Fighter.
That's good.
Alpha Cab. Yeah, well, there was a rumor for that cabinet, whether or not we actually see it. At one point, it was a thing.
Oh, that 2024 leak list? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. At one point, it was a thing, A lot has changed since then.
Yeah.
A lot.
Technically, we got Lethal Enforcers. It's just on the buy stuff mod.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't arcade.
Talking to Corner K today, and he wants to get retro shooters for Jurassic Park. And he's like, we'll never get a Jurassic Park themed cabinet. I go, no. But you have it on there. Like, technically, we have it, though. Like,
and there's a lot of great companies out there that will make graphics. So you can skin your cabinet any way you want it.
That's the project, Phil. So the iArcade I got for 100. I got Glenn's deck coming in, the GRS control deck. Plan is get the Viper board, put a Batacera build on it, and then 2 Synod light guns, and
that'd be cool. I mean, you'll have everything.
We're going.
Only thing that stinks about the retro shooter is you don't have Revolution X on there. Like that it's just if you had that on there, it's like I don't think there's a gun game they don't have.
So there's a workaround for that.
Yeah,
Phil.
They do have them all, huh? Yeah, Revolution X.
So there's a workaround for that. On the ALU right here, I have Revolution X, both on my QuinOps X build.
Nice.
And on my Batacera build, because I have my Steam Deck connected through Mac Games Legends Ultimate, and I have the Batacera build on my Steam Deck synced up because you can do Bluetooth controls, right? So you connect your Sinden light gun into your Steam Deck dock, it'll register it, attach it to player 1 and player 2, and then you can play Revolution X that way. Nice. I know it's convoluted, but it works.
It's a fun game.
It's awesome. I mean, even played the SNES version as a kid. I grew. I loved it.
You have it for the Super Nintendo. Was that the with the Super Scope you needed?
Yeah, you need the Super Scope for it. Captain Cherry, Dr. Pepper. That sounds delicious.
Dr. Pepper Zero, Cherry Zero. It's tough to find.
Is that monster drink you have? Is that sugar free in the morning?
It is sugar free.
Is it?
Yep. Yeah. And it's not like I'm trying to watch my weight because I just ate like 4 pieces of pizza. It's just anymore. I prefer the taste of the no sugar.
A double Big Mac and a large fry, man. You don't have to.
I haven't even eaten supper yet. I think we're getting Popeyes. I think is what we're doing.
Nice.
Yeah,
haven't had that in a long time.
No, we had some pizza. The wife was working late tonight. That's why the boy was running around.
See you in the morning, Glairzilla.
Have a good one, Glairzilla.
Later, Glaire. Thanks, man. Yes, if you don't the cherry Dr. Pepper, I didn't even know that was a thing. Oh, yeah, good stuff. Even by itself, if you mix it with Captain, it can be dangerous because you don't even taste it.
I like that spice rum.
I do. I love it.
The question is, have you had cherry vanilla?
I don't think so.
They make it.
Do they really?
Yeah. It's really good.
I had strawberry. Dr. Pepper makes a strawberry and cream. Drank that for a little while. It's pretty sweet though.
Yeah.
Like almost too sweet. Yeah, cherry Dr. Pepper. I know. I saw it and I've been hooked on it. That and like OG cherry Coke.
I just gonna want to give props to Thumper Squad for the Squidbillies avatar.
Yep.
That's great.
I know it is.
That's good.
Squidbillies.
I keep telling him that you're coming up for the Midwest Gaming Classic, Mike. He's Thumper's stoked for
I plan on it. What is it, April?
They have a Coke machine, right, Vicky?
They do. A Dr. Pepper machine would be
the new Coke. They have a new Coke machine.
It's got the Pepsi one. Is that New Wave? I like the Pepsi one. Like What were we talking?
No, was it New Wave?
Zod's virtual.
Yes, that's where the Pepsi
That
machine
Pepsi.
was. And we both said, I would love to see
That's
that
what I
Pepsi.
want.
Yep, the old school, like 80s, early 90s Pepsi logo.
Right.
Before they changed it.
That they should have it to this day. It should be the Denver Broncos should have the 80s jersey still, the helmet and everything.
Oh yeah, the orange and the blue.
It should go back to that.
With the Bronco through the D.
Yeah, with the Bronco on the side.
And Pepsi
What the Bucks
go with
creamsicle.
that look.
Yeah. That's right, the creamsicle.
I kind of like Tampa's.
Those teams they bring them back occasionally now, right?
This
For
should
their
be permanent.
color rush
bring
or
back
whatever.
the
The
nostalgia on this stuff.
The Saints one is the lamest. It's just a gigantic fleur-de-lis as opposed to a smaller fleur-de-lis. It's just like the size of the
the
helmet.
Steelers has been the same since the 1930s.
The Packers changed some of these stripes around their sleeve.
Yeah, I mean that's all it is. They'll change like the style of the lettering of the numbers, and
Packers throwback with the solid color and like the circle in the middle, or is that Bears that have that throwback? Is it the Packers or the Bears that have that throwback? That one's like the one that offends me the most.
Some of them are lame ducks.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. So what are you thinking about going on an hour and a half? I mean, all right. So we'll finish it off with what do you think the over/under is of the Taylor Swift appearances in the Super Bowl? Over 20?
Yes. I was going to say 12. Yeah.
Over under 20 and a half. I might be being generous, and that might be actually kind of low.
I'm gonna go Griffey's number 24.
Ken Griffey Jr., my favorite baseball player of all time.
Mine too. Him and Bagwell. I was an Astros fan.
Yeah.
Up, so.
Somebody made the comment earlier about back in the 90s, the basketball players used to play all games how about Cal Ripken Jr.?
Oh man.
Getting back on sports topics real quick. He played like 3,000 straight games or something like that.
Iron Man.
Something insane. Oh, thanks, Retro Doc.
Speaking of Griffey, how about Griffey's baseball games on Super Nintendo? Have there been better or worse since?
I mean, it was Ken Griffey. I had that poster from Nintendo Power hanging on my wall for the longest time.
It's my favorite baseball game, man.
And, more about Darryl Strawberry, LA Dodgers guy then.
You were.
Yeah.
Oh, Darryl Strawberry. That's bringing a name out there.
No,
both of those guys were on Simpsons episodes.
They were.
I remember the Simpsons baseball.
The 90s, man. I mean,
Monty Burns, Mr. Burns brought in all the ringers, hired them to work at the nuclear power plant, and
we do 90s baseball talk next week.
Yeah,
we could.
We could.
Yeah, because it's a different game. All of them are all different now. Like,
you love sports, man.
Yeah, you'll never see something like what Cal Ripken did ever again, ever. Never gonna happen.
Well, can we also loop in mixed martial arts and wrestling at some point too?
I mean, I'll talk retro wrestling. I'm
a big retro wrestling fan too.
We'll have to bring Jesse in for the mixed martial arts.
There you go. Another one. Nolan Ryan.
I got an autograph.
Oh my gosh.
I got an autograph.
So many Nolan Ryan cards.
Like, dude played till he was 48 or something like that.
I got a autographed Nolan Ryan blood photo where he's all bleeding.
Oh, do you?
When Ventura approached the mound and Nolan Ryan just got him, man.
Ryan was an animal. I mean,
he's the first pitcher I ever saw live. I went to
you'll never see anything like that either. Dude, like 5,700 strikeouts or something like that. Like Randy Johnson's his next highest, and he's like over 1,000 behind him.
Big unit.
Yeah.
Big unit.
Who was probably the most dominating pitcher I've ever watched in my lifetime. Like, watch live. Like, I saw Nolan Ryan in the tail end of his career, but
me too. That was the first baseball game I ever went to.
I think it was something crazy. Like, Nolan Ryan's career spanned 4 decades, I think.
It did.
He started like 1969.
With the Astros.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And threw in his, I think he might have been almost 50 when he retired, and he was still throwing 100 miles an hour.
Yeah. So was Tom Brady.
Yeah, I know. I can win in Super Bowls and all.
We're never going to escape Tom Brady now.
I know we're not. He's going to haunt my dreams for the rest of my life.
Crazy.
Mortar and Mickey D's for tomorrow. 2 McMuffins, hash brown. Why look at your angelic face? I wish I wouldn't have
get the bagel
that comment until I read it. Angelic face in his bathrobe. Oh, okay, good.
Thumper with the Happy Gilmore quotes.
Yeah.
It's all in the hips.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
R.I.P. Carl Weathers.
Yes, sir.
Going to Texas Rangers spring training in 3 weeks. Well, that's encouraging. I didn't even realize that spring training is kind of right around the
February
corner, right?
It's around the corner.
We're getting maybe we're getting towards the end of winter here.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Only paid him $7,000 a year his first year. Or is this Nolan Ryan?
That's ridiculous.
So I did hear something that brings back into baseball. It was like yesterday or the day before. It was like this date 30 years ago. The Pirates signed Barry Bonds to a 1-year contract in 1992. The year before he left, it was the highest. He was the highest paid single year contract in MLB history. Have any idea how much he made that year? Take a wild guess. It was the highest single season salary of all time to that point.
32K. 32K.
$8 million.
Okay, so in between, it was $4.7 million.
I don't know why I was still thinking of Nolan Ryan.
I mean, maybe back in
60s.
yeah, but yeah, $4.7 million in 1992 was the most money any baseball player ever made in a single season.
And what we're looking at right now is
Oh God, like guys like Garrett Cole make that in his
his
pregame
trade.
rituals in the locker room, or whoever the highest paid pitchers are. Shohei Ohtani.
How
what
much
the
is
hell would he
Ohtani
just
making?
get?
Like 800 million?
Oh my God, yeah.
Like 700 million?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
We're gonna see a signed ball by Rolly Fingers
Okay.
as a Brewer. Rolly
Nice.
Fingers, I'm sorry.
Nice.
Okay, so that was Nolan Ryan. He made $7,000 a year his first year.
I need to watch that doc. I
Insane.
need to watch that doc.
Yeah, maybe we can we'll sprinkle in some early, 90s baseball next week. Why
Yeah.
not?
Be fun.
Before we get into the Super Bowl and how many times Taylor Swift is going to be on camera and if Travis Kelce is going to propose at the end of the game
Yeah.
while they're on the podium. All right, gentlemen. I think we've gone on long enough. And Phil, we got to get up early because we got Nostalgia Power
And
tomorrow.
if you're up late enough, catch Garage Gamer.
Garage Gamer on in a
Not
couple
what, 2 hours?
2
Yes,
hours
sir.
from now. Garage Gamer's going to go live. So stop by, show him some love.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, we had a
happy
lot
I
of
got
fun.
Meet you, man.
Folk. Thank you for joining us tonight.
It was a pleasure
Definitely a
tonight.
lot of fun.
Oh, for sure.
I don't
Do it
have a
again
cool
next
ending
week.
made up yet. If we keep doing this, making this a weekly thing, I'll come up with some cool intros and endings and sound clips and all that fun stuff. But
See ya, Baggy.
good night,
Yeah.
everybody.
See you, Jason.
Big E, Retro Doc,
Retro Doc 79.
MG. Maybe we'll play some
See ya,
GTA tomorrow
Thumper,
night.
MG. We'll see you guys in the morning.
Yep. Catch you guys in the morning. Thanks,
Y'all have a
everybody.
good one.
See ya.
Peace.